Time goes by, puffing on lie, hoping that it gets me high. Got a need going crazy. I feel crazy. Y'all really didn't. Y'all really thought Pop was just talking when he said that, didn't y'all? The man really was feeling crazy. That's why he did what he did. That's why he was so reckless on death row. He was really going crazy, bruh. But that go over y'all head. Check this out, man. Y'all need to start really listening to me, man, because the spirit, I say things that other people don't say about Tupac. And I don't think I get the credit I deserve. Because I bring insight. I speak, I bring parallel worlds into existence when I talk about Tupac. That's out there really living it. There's parallel worlds. But anyway, so I just started thinking, right? I started thinking about, because I saw a video on Whack 100, and Whack 100, he was blaming Tupac for the fall of Death Row. Your Pop wouldn't have did this. Your Pop wouldn't have went over there and jumped on Orlando Anderson, he wouldn't have got killed. Suge Knight wouldn't have went to jail. Suge Knight wouldn't have lost his Death Row. I just started talking nonsense, right? Like he know. Know what I'm saying? You got to be stupid, bro. Like, so that one incident caused, man. Okay, so what about the next week then? Or you know what I'm saying? The next day. It ain't to say Suge Knight wouldn't have did something stupid and went back to jail for his own actions. Suge Knight went to jail for his own actions. He lost Death Row because of his actions, not Tupac's actions. Because his own actions, man. Suge Knight always got himself caught up in something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, regardless of that, I wanna talk about. I wanna give y'all a perspective of this. What if Tupac never went over there and jumped on Orlando? Now, see, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Raise up, but don't let them see you cry. Dry your eyes, young, you're trying to do or die. Damn, you know what I'm saying? That's what Tupac said in Thug Life. Now, if Tupac never, let's say Trayvon whispered in Pac's ear, which Suge Knight said he did, and Frank Alexander said he did in his book. I believe he did. Let's say Trayvon, let's rewind it back. Let's rewind that scene back, right? Trayvon Lane whispers in Tupac's ear. But Tupac don't go over there. He just sit back. You know what I'm saying? He stand back. He don't go over there and rush Orlando. He don't even hit Orlando. He just nod his head. He said, all right. Trayvon Lane whisper in his ear. That nigga go over there. And Pac said, all right. But then Trayvon Lane tell the rest of the homies of Suge Knight and Buntry and all them. And they go over there and beat up Orlando. You think Suge Knight wouldn't have still hit Orlando? Or let's say it like this. I mean, we can say that Pac, we can have a scenario Tupac don't hit Orlando, or we can have a better scenario that Frank Alexander stopped Tupac from hitting Orlando. Because if we gonna say, if I'm gonna come with the scenario, okay, the more interesting scenario that Pac don't go over there and run and smash on Orlando, and all the other homies do it, and Suge Knight do it, they gonna give Pac a hard time. I guarantee you, they gonna be all up in Pac's business. Where you was at, Pac? Why you ain't get your hit in? Why you ain't get your hit in? Oh man, yo man, you ain't down. You ain't, They probably would have gave him a hard time about that. And what would have been Pac's excuse? No man, I'm on probation. That's a good excuse to use. I'm on probation, man. But it wouldn't make sense because Pac was doing all type of reckless stuff before that. So now that he in Vegas and he see the dude that tried to jack their chain and he don't do nothing, he might be looked at as a buster after that. He might lose some respect after that from Suge and from the rest of the crew. He might just lose a little bit of respect because these niggas was foolish. Especially Suge Knight, the owner of the damn Death Row. The owner of the company was the most foolish one. The stupidest one. So I can give you that scenario. They gonna give Tupac a hard time. I'm telling you. And I just don't know how that. I don't know if Tupac will be able to come back from that. Cause he definitely be looked at as a punk. I think he would be looked at as oh man, you froze up. All that shit you be talking, I don't want to hear that shit. All that soldier shit you be talking. Like, I don't think it'd be good. So Pac damned if he do, damned if he don't. Fucking around with ignorance. See? That's what ignorant gets you. Now if Pac came on Death Row talking right and talking strategic and talking like I'm a boss and I don't need to be rolling in the dirt with a nigga that ain't on my level, then maybe he'd get a pass. But Pac put himself in a position where he'll just bum on anybody. Now that would be bad for Pac. Now, what would be good for Pac if Frank Alexander would stop Pac from jumping on Orlando before it happens. That would make Pac look good because, hey, it's Frank's fault that I didn't get a chance to get my kick in. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, it's Frank. So now he can always put the blame on Frank. And the homies will understand that. And Suge will understand that. Because Frank can be the voice of reason and say, hey, I'm trying to keep him out of jail, man. You know what I'm saying? But, since I'm very fond of Pac, I don't want him to have a hard time. So I'm going to go with the scenario of Frank Alexander gets to Pac. He sees Trayvon Lane talking to Pac. And he sees where Trayvon Lane is pointing to Orlando. And he stops Pac in his shoes from going over there. Where he grabs Pac while Pac trying to get over there. While the other gangsters and all the other homies go over there and rush Orlando. Stomp him up, beat him up. So Frank Alexander would be the MVP. Because guess what happened? Now that's weird. Guess what happened? I just thought of something. The same thing still might happen. But let's say They beat him up. Everybody get up, go their separate ways. Pac didn't touch him. So now I don't think Orlando is still still mad as a hound, still raging. But somehow he don't get a chance to bust. Somehow he don't bust. He don't find them that night. He don't bust his gun that night. Now we got a situation where Suge Knight is in trouble. Tupac is clean. Now we got a situation where Suge Knight gets caught up, goes to jail, goes to prison. Stupid. But guess what happens? Death Row still going strong. Tupac alive. They may have a little bit of trouble, but Tupac don't get killed, don't get shot at, don't get shot. Suge Knight go to jail. Who you think gonna be in charge of Death Row? Tupac convinced Suge Knight, hey, let me run the label. Tupac in charge of Death Row. Tupac running Death Row. Suge Knight in jail, Tupac running Death Row, right? That's exactly what it was gonna be. Snoop Dogg, I don't think they ever leave. I don't think Snoop Dogg leave. Because Death Row is still intact. Now Tupac is signing artists, bringing on artists to the label. Snoop Dogg and Tupac, they help him run the label. But then, hey man, that thing opened a paradox to all type of other issues though. You know what I'm saying? That thing will open all type of. Now you may have a situation where Tupac and Snoop Dogg beefing. You know. And they don't see eye to eye. You know. And you might have a situation where Tupac don't know what he doing, and the label is getting run into the ground. The vision gets lost. Or you may have a situation where Suge don't want Tupac to run the label. He needs somebody else. But hell, he had Reggie Wright and Michelle A. running the shit when he was locked up. So why not choose Tupac? And Snoop. You know, they got interest. They got interest on Death Row. So maybe it could work. Maybe Snoop and Tupac could work together. Maybe Tupac could forgive Snoop and get Snoop on the same page as him. You know, maybe. But Pac would have to calm down. Pac would have to calm down and stop being so he would have to calm that foolishness down. He can't be mini Suge. He gotta control himself better. He can't be he gotta be more smarter. You know. Can't be foolish. You got to be a lot more smarter now. If Pac could be more smarter, calm down and think, oh man, it ain't no telling what Death Row would have went. Death Row probably would have went even higher. He had the Outlaws. He get Sight back. You know, I think if Tupac did run the label, I think Outlaws would have been bigger. Big Sight. You know, all those guys would have been a little bigger. You know, as long as Pac alive, they gonna blow up. You know, they gonna be good. You know, Pac finding new talent. I think Death Row would have continued to blow, because when Pac around, you know, Pac could make anybody shine. You know, Pac was on that level where you get on a song with him, you gonna blow up. So I could see Pac signing more artists. Boot Camp Click, I don't know about Boot Camp Click though. I don't know about them. I don't know about Greg Nice, cause they was really like out of style back in '96. To be real with you, you know, nobody was checking for Greg Nice and Eric B. Nobody cared about them. You know, they time have come. They time come and gone. So West Coast Death Row is about that gangster shit. You know. So I think it probably could have worked if for a little while. And I don't know how long it could have lasted though. I don't know if it would have just been a dynasty. I mean, Death Row just at Tupac at the helm and they just running shit. I don't know, cause that's Tupac's first time in that position, the power like that. And you know, he's an artist himself, so he's competitive his damn self. He would have to take off the rap hat and put on the executive hat. And I don't know if Pop was ready for that yet. Pop was in his prime making music. He still had that rapper taste in his mouth. I don't think he was ready to be an executive. You know, I think he probably would have came a little bit too fast, but he would have had to make a decision, you know, on how he was gonna move. Either he was gonna be a rapper and let somebody else take control of the label, and he just still be a rapper, or maybe he would just transition into an executive, because he was planning on starting his own label anyway, called Machiavelli Records, right? Or Euthanasia, the record label. So yeah, he could have stepped up. He could have stepped up. Had some good advisors, a good team around him. You know, could have stepped up. And Suge Knight in prison. And Suge Knight stayed in prison all the way up to what? 2003. Suge Knight released in 2001. What it was around? Oh, 2001 he got out. So if Tupac could stay alive till 2001. So you know, during all this time, I don't think if Tupac is running Death Row, I don't think No Limit would have been as big as they was. Maybe they would have been big down south, you know, but I don't think they would have been as big worldwide as they was. So if Tupac alive, then Biggie most likely gonna be alive. And I don't think Mace comes out. I don't think Mace get a chance to blow up like he did. Cause Biggie is on the label. So Biggie the number one man, and Mace is not gonna blow up bigger than Biggie. You know? So Mace never come out. If he comes out, he may come out under Big, under that Junior Mafia, you know, group. You know. So if you got Biggie alive, I don't think Jay-Z gonna be as Jay-Z. He's cool, but I don't think he would have been as big if Big was still alive. So that's the Jay-Z factor. You got and DMX factor. And I don't think now DMX is not gonna really be as big because he looks sort of like Pac. He got that energy like Pac, and Pac gonna shut that down. Like people ain't gonna respect it. Oh, he's just another Tupac. People not gonna respect it. You know. So those two being alive, Biggie and Tupac, it would be a total different dynamic in hip hop. Totally different dynamic. Just because you got the two gatekeepers. You got the two gatekeepers at the Garden Gate, Tupac and Biggie. They ain't letting nobody else. Only a few people they gonna let in, and it ain't nobody gonna overshine them like that, outshine them like that. You know. So shit. So when Suge Knight get out, the West Coast and the East Coast still popping. Master P never blow it up like he did. He blew up a little bit. Outkast blew up. Outkast was hot. Outkast probably was hotter than Master. Outkast was probably gonna be hotter than Master P. You know, Outkast would take over the South. It wouldn't be Master P. It probably would have been Outkast. Not only the South, but Outkast would have just blew the fuck up. You know, it wasn't gonna be nobody stopping they shine. You know, Puffy would have continued to be like he was, making big moves, being a boss. But yeah, man. But I think Tupac would have eventually just quit rap sooner or later. Would have quit rap and got into politics. You know, gave Death Row back to him, to Suge Knight. Gave it to somebody, and did his own thing. Got into politics. If Pac would have stayed alive, yeah. And Pac would have also, you know, did his thing in the communities and led rallies and probably led marches and, you know, gave epic speeches. Tried to clean up, you know, communities. Stuff like that. But that's another parallel world, y'all. Peace.